Alright, so as you know, it's currently October, and in the spirit of spooky season, I decided to platinum Little Nightmares 2. According to PSN profiles, this game is a 3 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, and only takes about 6 hours to platinum. Now the trophy guides recommend doing your first playthrough completely blind to enjoy the story, but I'm just in this for the platinum. Anyways, let's jump right into this platinum journey. The game drops you into a grassy field in the middle of a creepy looking forest and essentially tells you nothing. I did the only thing any sane person would do and immediately started looking for a way out of this place.
Help me! Help me!
Now there's a trophy for navigating through this forest without dying, but of course, I knew nothing about this game and died to the most basic things. After making it to this creepy house, I opened up the fridge to look for a snack and popped our first trophy. I think I'll pass on whatever that is. I then continued through my journey and discovered a weird room with a damaged door. It looked like there was a little kid behind it, so I picked up the nearby axe and started chopping down the door.
Here's Johnny!
The little kid ran off, for obvious reasons, and we followed him. Then we met up with the kid again, and I realized this is Six from the first game. He helped us to obtain a key, so we could work our way out of this cabin. We then went into a room, and there was an actual human in there who gave Six a real reason to be scared. We began running for our lives and had to bob and weave behind cover to sneak away from the man with the shotgun. His shotgun literally one-shots you, and this section is stressful. He eventually chased us all the way into another cabin, and there we discovered a full-blown shotgun. Safe to say, I wasn't expecting to find that. We then shot the man and popped a trophy for doing so while wearing this raccoon hat.
Oh my god, I almost died! I almost died!
Once we killed the crazy man, we rowed this makeshift boat across what seemed like an endless body of water. Seriously, why is it so long? I'm bored! Once we finally reached the other side of it, we grabbed the last glitch kid for chapter 1 and proceeded through the doorway, ending chapter 1. I then reached this weird looking TV that sucked us in, and it's one of the major plot points of this game. Basically, we just walked down this creepy hallway, but yeah, moving on. I then discovered this new hat that looked to be like a broken soccer ball, and ran through a goal while wearing it. Can I just say that this game has some weird trophies, and I would hate trying to figure them out without a guide. As always, if you are enjoying the video, please drop a like on it to let me know. Next, I entered this really creepy building with lots of beds and found a paper airplane, which I threw out of the window for another trophy. After that, I found a classroom with an eerie looking teacher and a bunch of evil children that wanted to eat me or something. I got a trophy for crushing 3 of them with this bookshelf. I then had to sneak past the teacher with the key that we had just collected, and we discovered something is horribly wrong with her. After escaping her, I found this kid that was tied up and drawing all over the floor. Man, he must be miserable. Anyways, moving on. I got a trophy for not putting him out of his misery, and then I had to escape this horrifying orphanage. I had to fight off a bunch of these kids along the way and smack them around with a spoon like Gordon Ramsay on a bad day.
These spoons, man!
Anyway, after that, I had to run from this disgusting abomination of a woman and hide in these super obvious hiding spots that she never checks. The worst part about this whole orphanage had to be running from this nasty woman. What in the world has happened to Helen? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that these weird kids captured Six, so we had to rescue them, and then we jumped all over this piano for another trophy. We then escaped the orphanage and found the last glitched kid in the orphanage. We also discovered a raincoat with a dark past for Six, and finally completed chapter 2. In chapter 3, I found a vending machine, and being the greedy gremlin that I am, I looted the entire thing. I then found another weird TV and got sucked in like a middle-aged mom watching Bluey, and once again got to walk down the same creepy hallway. I'm sure it's important, but right now it's just weird. I also got a trophy for using this x-ray machine and holding Six's hand in there. There was also another hat in the next room as well, which gave me the trophy for earning half of the hats in the game. I also needed to burn this teddy bear that for some weird reason has a key sewn into it. Don't ask me why, it wasn't me. As I was exploring, I got jumped by a creepy moving hand, and it felt like I was being chased by a spider. This enemy grossed me out more than the little doll kids for sure. I finally found a weapon, and I beat that thing until it stopped moving. After heading into a new area, I found a corn cob and decided I was hungry. I took it down to the microwave and made some popcorn. Definitely sanitary, right? I also found some cheese and threw it into this creepy hole, which didn't appreciate it for some reason. I mean, who doesn't like cheese? I then had to work my way through a dark and dingy hospital and deal with these mannequins that can only move when there is no light being shown on them. I collected the last glitch kid in the hospital and then came to this puzzle, which stumped me for longer than I'd like to admit. It's a fairly simple solution if you're willing to allow one of those horrors to run towards you. After that, you can simply push the wheelchair and parkour out of there. I then came to one last dark hallway filled with the mannequins. All I had to do was run through with my flashlight. That sounds easy enough, but when so many come from all around, it becomes terrifying. After escaping them, I threw this ball into their hands, but they didn't like that gift. I then ran into what is arguably one of the nastiest enemies in the game. It was Big Chungus Gone Chef, and he wanted to add us to his collection of meals. There were a few times we had to work our way around him, and it was pretty straightforward, except for this part. No matter what I tried, I could not get past him. Every time I would wait until he turned around, and he would still catch me every time. That was until I used the 2 brain cells I had left and decided to try climbing into this obvious hole on the left-hand side of the room. After evading him once again, I led him into this big furnace and trapped him inside. I decided not to burn him because I have morals, and it earned another trophy, which then made me realize that slowly starving is just as bad. At least he'll last a while, right? I then officially escaped this mad hospital and earned a trophy for completing Chapter 3. Chapter 4. This chapter consists of us navigating our way through a semi-abandoned city filled with people who are locked into these TVs like iPad kids. Shortly after beginning this chapter, I discovered another TV that I needed to enter. Only this time, we made it to the end of the hallway and found a tall mafia man. He popped out of the TV and began chasing me and Six. Tragically, Six was captured by the man. No! And a glitchy shadow of him appears. Well, now we know that the glitch kids are victims of this strange man. Shortly after this, I found a TV remote and unlocked a new mechanic with these TVs. I'm able to teleport between 2 close-by TVs, and this becomes the core mechanic of Chapter 4. I had to solve a couple of puzzles involving redirecting the people away from the TVs, and then using the TVs to teleport to areas that I needed to access. We soon found the last glitching kid in one of these buildings, earning us 2 trophies. One for getting all the glitched kids in Chapter 4, and one for finding the final glitched kid in the game. I found this little girl's doll in a room and decided to smash it for a trophy. Whoa. After falling down into a mail/trash looking area, I delivered this piece of mail while wearing the mailman hat and earned another trophy. After that, I had to solve a small elevator puzzle and progressed onwards. I soon found a TV, but something was different about this one. It had 6 in it. I could finally rescue them, or so I thought. Right as I was about to pull him out to freedom, the mafia man appeared and once again began trying to catch me. To escape him, I had to use an axe to chop down a door and run for my life. He even followed me after I escaped into a small tunnel, and just when I thought I had lost him, there he was, quickly approaching ominously from the hallway.
No. Wait.
After finally escaping the house, he continued his pursuit and even chased us onto a train. I narrowly escaped and pulled a lever, disconnecting the train car I was in from the one he was in. This quickly sped us down the hill, seemingly to safety. Unfortunately, we had a rough landing, and our character has a minor injury causing them to limp. I slowly made my way to the next area and exited a sewer hatch, which put me out on a long street with a strange tower at the end of it. Suddenly, the creepy man appeared again, and I got into an epic force battle against him. After defeating him, I approached the tower and popped the trophy for completing Chapter 4. Inside the tower, I had to solve some puzzles involving purple doors that teleport you across the room to other purple doors. In order to solve these puzzles, I needed to listen to the audio cues and enter the doors that have the loudest audio until being teleported to the next room. I ended up discovering the source of the music from the purple doors. It was a large music box, and our friend Six was guarding it. She was also huge now and not so nice. I had to go through several sequences of hitting the music box and dodging Six's attacks. Once the music box was finally destroyed, we freed Six from this weird curse. Almost immediately, the walls began growing eyeballs and a weird flesh substance, and we had to run for our lives from the Terraria wall of flesh. As we were running, terrain was collapsing around us, and the only way to survive this jump was to have Six catch us. Luckily, Six indeed did catch us, but instead of pulling me to safety, they let go, and we fell into the depths of the flesh. Somehow I did not die from this, and began exploring the dark area until I found a random chair and jumped on it. This triggered a cutscene revealing the biggest plot twist of the story, which was that we will become the very thin mafia man we have been running from. After that, we popped 2 trophies. One for earning the final hat in the game, and one for completing the story, followed by a cutscene teasing Six escaping the TV and becoming the protagonist of the first Little Nightmares game. Now, I had 4 trophies left to clean up.
Clean up, everybody, everywhere.
I fired up Chapter 2 and immediately put on our new hat for completing the game, which is a direct reference to the tall man we will become. After that, I called out to Six 20 times for the 26th trophy and held Six's hand for 6 total minutes for another trophy. Now all I had left to do was to return to the forest at the beginning of the game and make my way through it without dying. After completing that, I popped the last trophy alongside the shiny platinum for Little Nightmares 2. I really enjoyed my playthrough of Little Nightmares 2, and I would rate it a solid 7 out of 10. It wasn't as scary as I was expecting it to be, and was more of a creepy environment survival horror game rather than one with jump scares. Overall, I would still recommend it to anyone for a little fun creepy game. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.